Why would the Guru of Devas curse an innocent child but spare the ones who actually made the mistake? Let me quickly tell you the story. Chandradev was known for beauty, charm and emotions. He was also a student of Brihaspati, the Guru of Dev, and Brihaspati's wife was Devi Tara, symbol of knowledge and wisdom. But one day, Chandra and Tara got emotionally and physically involved with each other. Brahma himself intervened and Tara was sent back to Brihaspati. But by then, she was pregnant. When the child was born, he was Budh, the planet Mercury. And the text says, Brihaspati cursed Budh to be Napunsak, neutral in nature. Maybe Brihaspati was not angry at Budh. Brihaspati understood something deeper. Look at the situation. Budh was born from emotion and desire of moon and knowledge influenced by attraction of Tara. If a child is born from emotional decision making, there is a possibility that the child may also take decisions emotionally. And Brihaspati, being Guru of wisdom, instead of punishing, he balanced Budh nature. Napunsak here does not mean weakness, it means neutrality. It means the ability to step back from emotions and analyze situations logically. That is why Mercury represents logic, communication, calculation, decision making, observation before reaction. Budh became the intelligence that checks emotions before action. He was designed to become balance between mind and wisdom. Most mistakes happen when emotion controls knowledge, but success happens when intellect filters emotion. And that is Budh energy. What if the soul doesn't suffer because of punishment, but because of incompletion? When a human dies, the physical body must dissolve back into the universe. This dissolution happens through the Panch Mahabhut. But sometimes this dissolution remains incomplete due to sudden death, strong attachments, unfulfilled desires, or disturbed pran at the final moment. When Panch Tattva fail to dissolve properly, the transition becomes unstable. What remains is not a physical body, but a Preta Sharir, subtle, unstable, formed mainly of Agni, Vayu, and Akash. And this Preta body still carries consciousness. Not as a brain, not as a physical organ, but as reflected awareness through the subtle body. Not literally physical, but symbolic of concentrated consciousness. This consciousness never dies. It does not burn, it does not decay. It must be completely released from the 5 tattvas. If even subtle attachment to any tattva remains, the consciousness cannot fully detach. And that incomplete detachment creates the Pret condition. Without Prithvi tattva, the Pret cannot consume solid food. That is why Pindadan is offered, to symbolically provide the earth element and stabilize the transition. And without Jal tattva, there is no cooling, no absorption, no peace. That is why Tarpan, the offering of water, is performed. These rituals are not feeding a ghost, they are assisting proper dissolution. Pinda represents earth, Tarpan restores water. Together, they help complete what was left incomplete. And yes, death was never the end. Stop blindly following heroes, follow the one who cracked immortality. An immortal Asur worshipped as Dev. He is Rahu. While many did tapasya for Amrit and later compromised with it, he studied the system. He realized something dangerous. Sometimes the system itself is the trap. When the nectar of immortality appeared during Samudra Manthan, even Dev stood in line. But Rahu didn't wait for permission. He didn't pray for opportunity. He entered the battlefield of intelligence. He changed his identity, sat among the Dev, took the risk of total destruction. This wasn't arrogance, it was obsession with purpose. Even the Mayapati Vishnu in his Mohini form did not immediately recognize Rahu's Maya. Such was the intensity of his strategy. Yes, Lord Vishnu cut him down, but the nectar had already touched him. He lost his body, but he gained immortality. Understand this deeply. Rahu did not reject tapasya, he rejected passivity. He teaches us desire is not evil, obsession is not madness, strategy is not sin. What is foolish is living below your potential because you are afraid to cross boundaries. So expand your limits beyond imagination. Don't blindly follow anyone, any rule, formula, beauty, ideology. Because sometimes what looks divine, what looks beautiful, what looks like opportunity can be a Mohini illusion, making you wait in line, think, observe, strategize. And when your purpose is clear, act with Rahu intensity, but with conscious wisdom. Lord Ram didn't choose to be Maryada Purushottam. Yes, you heard that right. I was shocked. When I started reading Yoga Vasishtha, Lord Ram, the same Ram we call ideal, was deeply disturbed. He questioned life itself. He said pleasure is temporary, power is meaningless, even good deeds feel empty. Then what is the purpose of living? He wasn't depressed, he was too aware. Life felt like effort without meaning. Seeing this, King Dashrath panicked, and that's when Guru Vasishtha stepped in. Guru Vasishtha didn't tell Lord Ram to run away. He didn't tell him to blindly follow dharma either. He told him one simple but dangerous truth. Bondage and freedom are both created by the mind. Dharma without clarity is fear. Actions don't bind you, ego does. Rules don't free you, awareness does. And then something changed. Lord Ram didn't force himself to be righteous. He became internally free. That's why he didn't follow dharma out of fear. He didn't break dharma to prove freedom. Dharma flowed naturally from clarity. That's why Ram is called Maryada Purushottam. Not because he followed every rule, but because there was no inner chaos left to break them. Lord Ram didn't become great by following rules. He followed rules because he became free. What if I told you that the name of the month is decided by where the moon is heading? In Sanatan calendar, a month is not January or February. It is the journey of the moon. There are two systems, a month from Amavasya to Amavasya, Purnimath from Purnima to Purnima. But in both systems, the name of the month is decided on one night, Purnima. On that night, you observe in which nakshatra is the full moon placed. That nakshatra gives the name to the entire lunar cycle. Now understand this carefully. On 4th March 2026, a new lunar cycle began from Pratipada of Krishna Paksh. At that time, the moon will be in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. From that point, the moon will move forward, crossing nakshatras one by one, heading toward Chitra Nakshatra. And on the 3rd of April 2026, Purnima, the full moon will shine exactly in Chitra Nakshatra. That is why from Pratipada to Chitra Nakshatra Purnima, this month is called Chaitra. Because the moon was heading toward Chitra and completed its journey there on full moon night. The month is not named where it begins. It is named where the moon culminates. Next Purnima, moon will be in Vishaka Nakshatra, hence Vaishakha Mahina. This is astronomical timekeeping. The moon travels, the stars witness, and the month receives its name. Ekadashi, Ashtami, Purnima. These are not dates, they are angles in space. And once you understand this, Indian calendars will start looking more scientific than modern ones. The moon completes a 360-degree revolution around the earth in one lunar cycle. Ancient people mapped this movement with extraordinary precision. Rishis observed the angular relationship between the sun and the moon from full moon to no moon. They noticed that from one full moon to the next, the moon covers 360 degrees. This 360-degree movement was divided into 30 equal parts. Each part equals 12 degrees, and each 12-degree segment was called a tithi. This is pure geometry. A tithi is the angular distance between the sun and the moon. Every 12-degree shift creates a new tithi. At 0 degrees, when the sun and moon align, it is Amavasya. With every 12-degree movement, a new tithi begins. When the moon reaches exactly 180 degrees opposite the sun, that moment is Purnima. After that, the cycle repeats again. Now here's what ancient science noticed. Some lunar angles create instability, similar to resonance in physics. Such tithis include Chaturthi, Ashtami and Trayodashi. These are called critical tithis. That's why fasting, silence and restraint were prescribed on these days, not as rituals but as biological precautions. Tithi is not religion, it is astronomy influencing physiology. The moon moves, the angle changes and the body reacts. Now let's understand only the Kendra angles, the power pillars of the Kundali. The horoscope is a 360-degree circle around Earth. You are at the center, and 4 main angular force points surround you. The first house is 0 degrees, the eastern horizon, where Earth's rotation brings a sign into visibility. This point is called the ascendant, and it represents your physical body and identity because it is the point of emergence. The fourth house is 90 degrees from the ascendant, perfectly perpendicular. This is an exact angular alignment, forming a 90-degree geometric force point connected to emotional foundation and inner stability. The 7th house is 180 degrees, directly opposite the ascendant. This is the descendant, a straight line opposition axis representing interaction, partnerships and external forces. The 10th house is 270 degrees, exactly vertical above you. This is the midheaven, the highest elevation point a planet can reach in the sky. These 4 houses are perfectly angularly aligned, forming a complete cross of structural symmetry. Its effect becomes direct, stable and strong. Vedic astrology clearly states that when Kendras are filled with planets, the chart gains strength, balance and structural stability. Planets here sit on high impact geometric zones. The Kendras form the skeletal framework of the horoscope, like 4 pillars holding a building steady. So Kendra houses are not symbolic imagination, they are perfectly aligned angular force points in the sky. And planets sitting here shape the main direction, stability and power of life. Stands as a true celestial giant, Jyeshtha. Astronomically, Jyeshtha corresponds to Antares, a red supergiant star nearing the final stage of stellar evolution. In astrophysical terms, Antares has a radius nearly 700 times larger than our Sun. It exists in an expanded high luminosity phase caused by hydrogen exhaustion and outer envelope inflation, a phenomenon typical of massive stars approaching supernova transition. It is in its old time age, and perhaps that is why it is called Jyeshtha. Among the principal nakshatra stars, it is physically the largest. Jyeshtha meaning the eldest, the senior, the chief, not merely brighter, but evolved, expanded, mature. In Vedic symbolism, Jyeshtha represents seniority, responsibility, authority. Its sacred tree is the red silk cotton tree, Bombax ceiba, known in Ayurveda for treating skin disorders and inflammation. Interestingly, Jyeshtha is ruled by Mercury, the planetary governor of the nervous system, communication, and skin health. Ancient astrology was not random naming, it was observational astronomy blended with symbolic intelligence. Jyeshtha, the giant among stars, the elder among nakshatras. While Lord Vyas refused to promote one god only religion, Vyas knew truth is one, Brahma is one. Still, he introduced humanity to Bhagwan Shiv, Sri Vishnu, Sri Krishna, and the sacred stories of the Puran to help every soul find its own path. Because humans don't connect with abstraction, an infinite formless reality is spiritually supreme but emotionally distant. Society runs on relationships and stories, not philosophy alone. Different minds need different mirrors. This is crucial. Ved Vyas saw human minds as non-uniform instruments. A detached and ascetic mind naturally prays to Shiv. An emotional and relationship-driven heart connects with Krishna. A survival and protection-focused instinct turns towards Devi. Now here comes a very deep historical pattern. When spirituality is built around only one authorized form of God, it often leads to one interpretation, one authority, and sometimes power monopoly. History shows many centralized faith systems later divided into sects, reforms, and conflicts, not because the truth was wrong, but because human authority tried to control a single gateway to it. Ved Vyas avoided this risk completely. He decentralized divinity, multiple deities, multiple scriptures, multiple paths, no single gatekeeper to God. He hid unity inside diversity, so people may worship differently, yet move towards the same truth. Prabhu Vyas never rejected one God, he simply refused to lock humanity behind one door.